Welcome to Soccer Gaming, and in this episode I want to go over what you can expect from the brand new March update coming out. They've added a few new things, they've added a bunch of quality of life fixes, so I wanted to go over them. That way you guys can be ready for it, and if there's any way you can make money before the brand new update, this will be your best bet. So if you'd like to watch that, stick around. So they're adding a bunch of new things as far as quality of life, but the biggest thing I feel like they are adding is the blunderbuss, the brand new weapon, and this is a weapon that scales primarily off of strength, but you can also use intelligence in it as well. So you can do either strength or an int build. We'll kind of work with it. I did a whole episode on the blunderbuss and what would work best with it, depending on your play style. But if you're looking at like a great axe, really works well because you got all the strength. So the blunderbuss is like the main thing that they came out with in this. They also came out with a couple of other things which I'll cover here in a second, but that's kind of like the biggest thing that they came out with in this patch is the blunderbuss. I played with it on PTR. I really like it. I think it's going to be very, very game changing as far as like wars and OPR, maybe a little bit in invasions, but I feel like it's a weapon that can be used much better than like the musket. They've added in that only one person now needs to be at the expedition to do it, so whoever the expedition runner is or whoever has the orb will go to the expedition, and then the other 4 people will be pulled in from wherever you're at. They also added that if you're before, I believe if you got like pulled and you were say out farming or whatever, you got pulled to like the nearest town. Now they don't do that. Now you're pulled back once you're done with the expedition. You're pulled back to where you were before. So if you're out farming for hide or orichalcum or something and you got pulled into an expedition, once you get out of the expedition, you go right back there. You get pulled back right where in your last instant. But the one thing they are adding is the new expedition in Merc. In Merc, if you've ran it, you've kind of know there's like a few little things that are like, well, where's this go? And it doesn't really go anywhere. Well, there's kind of like a little church looking thing on top of, and about halfway through, you could see it, me showing you on the map where it's at. And that's where the brand new expedition's going to be. And this is where you're going to basically fight the end of Isabella. So this is where you're going to kind of find out where that story goes. And then you're going to find out kind of how to fight her, because you fight her a little bit in Dynasty before, but now you're kind of finishing that off, and at the end of the expedition you'll beat Isabella, and it's just basically another expedition that we can add to the rotation. Right now the rotation of mutators is Dynasty, Laz, and Jin. All 3 I've ran a ton of times, so it'll be good to see a brand new expedition. So if you're wanting some new expeditions to run, there will be one added in Merkgard. The next big thing that I feel like they added is the ability to move within your inventory while moving a character. So before, as you could see, what you say you're running, you're auto running, and then you pull up your inventory to see and move something around. Your guy stops, turns around, looks at his inventory, you move things, and then once you're out, you have to run again. They have it right now where if you're running and look at your map, you continue to run while looking at your map. But now they have added in that you can move in your inventory while running. So now you'll no longer stop and look at your inventory. You'll just keep running like you do in the map, but now you will do it in inventory. So I feel like this is a really good thing to add in, like a quality of life fix that they added in. They also said that there is going to be infinite ammo, and I'm not 100% sure if that means all ammo. I think they said tier 1 ammo. So if you got like the iron cartridge or whatever, Or if you got the iron arrows, like I think those are infinite now, so you don't have to like make those or pay for those. I think you still have to do orichalcum stuff. So or star metal or whatever you're using. So if you're using like the orichalcum bullets or whatever, the orichalcum ammo, you still have to create those. So there's that. So you still have to create those and use those, which is also again in the blunderbuss. You're using the orichalcum cartridges, the orichalcum ammo for the blunderbuss. Now they've made it so that you can sign up from wars and I think invasions. I don't remember them saying if it was for invasions as well, but you can now sign up from wars from the map. So now instead of having to go to Everfall and going and running up to the board and clicking it and then trying to get in the war that way, now you can just do it from your map. You can open your map, you go to where the war is, you click it, and you join into the war board from there, which I think is really, really nice because a lot of times it's like, well, I don't ever go up there, so I don't ever think of even looking if there's a war. But now I'm going to be like, oh, is there any wars? I can go around. Oh, there's a war there. Okay, I want to join that. There's a war there. And again, I don't know if it's for the invasions. I'm assuming it would be as well for the invasions, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. The other thing is that before, if you owned a home and you abandon your home, you get nothing back. You get all of your stuff that's in your house back, all of the materials and stuff in your house, but you don't get back any monetary value. Now, if you abandon your house, and I'm not sure like what the exact number is, like if you have your house and you paid taxes and you have to, if you have 1 day left, it doesn't count, whatever. I don't know those specifics or if there is specifics, but I do know that if you abandon your house, you'll get about 50% back on it. So if you paid 20 grand on a tier 4 house and then you move and then you're like, oh, well, I wanted to move to this place. It sounds like you're going to get 10K back for abandoning that house, which actually is pretty important because let's say you had a house early on that you just, it's a tier 4 and you paid 20K for it and you're like, I don't want to give up. It was 20K and like, I just don't want to give that up. Now you're like, well, I can get it up, get half back, use that for another tier 4 at another place that I actually want to be at. The other thing they're adding is that you're not going to lose durability on weapons, armor, or anything, amulets, anything like that, if it is in your inventory and you die in, say, expedition. You're only going to lose durability on the weapons equipped. That being said, so if you go in and you say, like you get a lot of weapons in expeditions. So you get a lot of weapons in expeditions and then say your team gets wiped a couple times. Well, now you basically lost half of the value of those weapons before. Now you will be able to get the full thing. There'll be full durability as soon as you get out, which is also nice if you ever wanted to sell one of them. Before you would have to repair to be able to sell. Now you don't have to repair anything. They come out 100% durability as long as you did not have them equipped. The next thing is that they made it so that you can move items from town to town for free. Before March update, if you go to a town like Everfall and you own your faction, not your actual group, but your faction owns another town like Brightwood. If you own both of those, you could pull something from Brightwood to Everfall. You'd pay a price for it, depending on what it is how much you would pay. And then it would automatically come over, and then you could use it and pull it out of storage. What they've done now is they've taken out the cost of it, which is nice because there's some stuff that was like crazy expensive. So to like pull over like iron ore, which, yeah, iron ore costs a little bit, but if you want to pull like 100 iron ore, it costs you like 500 gold or something. And it's like, what? That's crazy. Like, that's a lot of coin to lose out on just from transferring it from one place to another. So they took out the gold. They also made it so that you can pull from any of the towns. So you don't have to own it now. Your faction doesn't have to own it. You just basically have to have a storage of something. anywhere, and you can pull from that storage into where you're located at with basically for free. You don't have to do anything except just pull it over. So that's a good quality of life thing they added. It's going to save you a little bit of money and time as well, so you don't have to fast travel back and forth and grab this and then go back and grab that and go back. Now you can just pull it from whatever town storage that you have. They also said that they're going to be adding, they have a guy in PTR, you can find him. I never found him, but I guess he does exist. His name is Raffle Bones, and he's apparently gives out awards if you kill him. So basically you find this creature guy walking around. I think he's lost. I think he's a lost character. I'm not sure 100% because I haven't seen him. But yeah, apparently there's a guy called the Raffle Bones walking around. So if you see him and you can kill him, you can, I guess, get some pretty good gear for wherever you kill him. So if you kill him in a small place like First Light, where it's like 1 to 25 level, you're gonna get a 1 to 25 level gear. But if you find him in a place like Brightwood, or a place higher level enemies, then you're going to get higher level gear. The next thing is that they talked about adding the global cooldown, and this is huge for a bunch of reasons. So basically what happens is everything was on a cooldown, a 24-hour, 22-hour, whatever cooldown it was on before, meaning if I made Orichalcum, or if I made Asmodeum at 8 p.m. Eastern, I could not make Asmodeum until 8 p.m. Eastern the next day. So what would happen was you eventually, because you're not going to get on at 8 o'clock every single day and do them in the exact order every single time, because, oh wait, you don't have enough Tolvium to make the Asmodeum. So now you have to go out, find Tolvium, or you have to go buy Tolvium, and then by the time you get back, you lost a little bit of time, and so everything's a little further behind. So what happens is you would do it at 8, then it came 8:15, then one night you started a dungeon and you didn't get out of it until 8:30, and then eventually you get to the point where it's like midnight or 2 a.m. or whatever, and you just could not make it because you weren't on anymore. And so then you'd have to basically wait for it to reset. You'd have to skip a whole day and then reset it when you get back on at 8 again. So now what they're doing is, and I believe they said 5 a.m. on your server. So like if you're on an East server, it's going to be 5 a.m. Eastern. If you're on a Central server, it's going to be 5 a.m. Central, so on and so forth. And they're going to reset, meaning if you do your Asmodeum at 4 a.m. on Monday, at 5:05 a.m. on Monday, you can do your Asmodeum again, but then you have to wait till 5 a.m. on Tuesday to be able to make your Asmodeum. Basically, this is to help. So, hey, I get on from 8 to 9 at night, and, I stay on till midnight every night, so I play, 3 hours a day. Well, no matter when your 3 hours are, you're going to be able to create your Asmodeum or whatever those cooldowns are, whether it's mutator orbs or whatever it is now going to reset at 5 a.m. So at 5 a.m., your Asmodeum's going to reset, your runic leather is going to reset, your mutated orbs are going to reset, like all of that stuff resets at 5 a.m. So that way when you hop on next time, no matter what time it is, you can craft it until 5 a.m. the next day. So then the last thing they talked about was the roadmap. I'm going to throw up a picture of the roadmap on your screen, and this is what they've kind of talked about. And there's some things on here that I would say excite me. There's a couple of things that I'm like thinking, well, why isn't there more? And I don't really know how to answer that right now. The biggest thing that I see from it is that they got some pretty cool things. They got another weapon that's going to eventually come out in the Great Sword, so that's going to be fun to see. But there's some things that kind of worry me when looking at this, and the biggest thing that kind of worries me right now is the fact that they don't really have anything for the summer. I feel like the summer is when a lot of people kind of play, a lot of younger kids play because they're out of school. but I didn't see a ton of things during the summer. So during the spring, they're going to do the Tempest Hearts Expedition. And there's some cool things that they're adding as well as a blunderbuss. And they're wanting to add 3v3 PvP arenas, which I think is going to be really, really cool. And then they're going to do like a PvP reward track system. So kind of like a leveling system, I would assume. So the more you win, the higher level you are, which means the better rewards you get. Then in the summer, they're going to do the Barnacles and Black Powder expedition. So they're adding a new expedition. And then they're doing an expedition group finder, which they kind of explained as if say you're on East Coast server and you're doing stuff, and then you're like, okay, well, we can't find anybody that wants to run LAS with us. You join a queue, and then I think people from the West Coast server can actually join in the instance and play with you. So you could be playing with people from like a West Coast server. Again, I'm not 100% sure that's how it's going to work. That's kind of how they explained that they wanted to do it. And then they got the summer event, which again, we don't know what that is. So it could be a really big event of some sort. And then we're looking at the autumn, which was going to probably be around the October-ish, October time, November. And they're doing the Brimstone Sands territory, which is a brand new territory. This is the first time we've heard of them adding a new territory. So that's going to be fun to see. And then they're going to do another expedition. They're going to add the Great Sword, which is the brand new weapon after the Blunderbuss. They're going to do leaderboards. I'm not 100% sure what leaderboards they're wanting to do or what that's going to entail. Then they got the Night Val Hollow event, so I'm guessing like Halloween. And then Turkalon 2022 is, I'm guessing, like a turkey Thanksgiving type of thing. So I feel like we are getting some stuff, but I feel like the fact that like summer, all you're getting is one new expedition, and we're going to add an expedition finder, like where's all the content? Now, maybe that's in the summer event, but they didn't explain that. So this is everything that we've gotten from the March update. I'm really excited about what they have to entail. The only real thing I see from just looking at the stuff that they're upgrading and stuff, I think there could be some room to make some pretty good coin on orichalcum bullets. With how many people are going to use, because the blunderbuss uses about 2 every 3 or 4 seconds. You basically shoot twice as like a shotgun shot, but you actually use a bullet instead. As far as the ammo goes, so you use those and then you reload and then you use another 2 within a couple seconds, so you can blow through ammo pretty quick. That being said, there's not a lot of musket users right now that use up a lot of ammo, meaning that ammo is going to be more sought after. So now would be the time to create a bunch of ammo, hoping that when this is dropped, everyone's needing ammo. This also means that there's things that are going to go up. Charcoal might be going up a little bit. Gunpowder, I'm guessing, will go up quite a bit. The stuff to make gunpowder, which is like saltpeter, and charcoal, and that stuff is going to go up a little bit. So I would expect that stuff to kind of go up a little bit. So my suggestion to you now, as I told you with the Azoth, which if you sold your Azoth, you made out like a bandit because it's now worth like a coin a piece. If you can, try to make as many of those as you can. In my server right now, it's going for like 119 a piece, and it costs about 112, 110 to actually make. If you go out and buy buy all the stuff off the auction house and then create it, you're getting about it costs you about 1.1 coin a piece. So you can gain a little bit from that if you want to sell them now. However, I would wait. I'm assuming, if I had to guess, I would guess they would eventually sell for maybe 150, 160 ish. So you could make about 40 coin per 100, which is what, 2 sets of making them. So you can make quite a bit of money off of it. I also think saltpeter is going to go up. So if you want to get a bunch of saltpeter, which is going for like 2 cents on my server, you want to get a whole bunch of that, because I think that's going to go up. as well, because people are going to want to make their own bullets. So I hope this episode was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you're most excited about, or if there's something you want to know more about. If you want to know more about the roadmap, or if you're excited about the roadmap, comment that down below as well. Till next time, Slacker out.